Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. H.R. 934, a bill for marriage equality, now enters the floor. We will start off with a 3-minute constructive in affirmative of this issue. Have I such a speech? Please, Representative Chen, the floor is yours.
On April 13th, Jason Collins, an NBA player, openly saying that he's gay. A current world with more and more people no longer conceal their sexual orientation. Gay marriage becomes the most common and controversial topic around the world, especially in the United States. According to statistics free website, 41% of the Americans strongly favor gay marriage. About 10% of people hold neutral. And we argue that gay marriage should be legalized in the United States. Gay couples are denied significant rights when they're not allowed to marry. And this results in injustice. And there's 4 points. First, portion of the people say on the traditional definition of marriage refers to the relationship of one man with one woman that is recognized by laws and involves certain legal and social rights and duties. But now, according to the American Heritage Dictionary, the modern meaning of marriage is a stable bond between two individuals who work to create a loving household and a social and economic partnership. Marriage requires thinking beyond one's own needs. It transforms two individuals into a union based on shared aspiration, and in doing so establish a formal investment in the well-being of society. So same-sex marriage can be also defined as real marriage. Legalizing same-sex marriage would also be recognition of basic American principles and would represent the culmination of our nation's commitment to equal rights. According to a longtime ERA opponent, Phyllis Scalafly, Equal Rights Amendment make all federal and states laws sex neutral. In a case of if two men showed up and say we want a marriage license, and the person said you are both men, I'm not giving it to you, that would consider as discriminatory. Same-sex marriage is also a civil right. The 1966 Supreme Court case Loving v. Virginia confirmed that marriage is one of the basic civil rights of man, and same-sex marriage should receive the same protection given to the interracial marriage by the ruling. Gay marriage increased government revenue and creates other jobs. Since New York City legalized
10 seconds.
Gay marriage, anywhere from 70 to 100 to 80 to 100 gay people have wedding in the city.
Thank you, Representative Chen. At this time, we'll open the floor to a negative cross-examination by this constructive at the time of 1 minute. Cross-examination time starts now.
All right, use of the gay marriage would increase revenue and create new jobs. How?
The marriage has brokered in 20,000 out of town and 259 million in economic activity and 60 million in taxes.
Do you have any specific data than that, like more specifically than like?
New York received a positive economic impact, including $142 million added to their city's economy and $184 million that was added to their state's economy in over 3 years.
You mentioned the 1976 Love versus Virginia Act, are you aware that slightly after they said that, the judges also defined that love is between one man and one woman?
10 seconds.
Same judges.
Could you rephrase the question?
After the judges of the Love versus Virginia Act.
Thank you, Representatives Kelsey, Line, King, and Chen. At this time, we will prepare negative team 30 seconds for your first constructive. That preparation time starts now. Ten seconds. At this time, we'll open the floor to a 3-minute constructive and negative of the bill. Have I such a speech? Representative Tan, the floor is yours.
Recently, the problem of gay marriage arose high attention from society. According to the Williams Institute at UCLA, the percentage of Americans who identify herself or himself as LGBT is 3.5%. There are approximately 650,000 same-sex couples in the United States. 1/6 of them are families with children. There are 80% of growth in supporting gay marriage between 2000 and 2010. With this specific bill and referring to the status quo, our team holds the opinion as negative side. By saying we are holding negative side, we are not opposing same-sex marriage. We think this bill still does not fulfill the purpose of marriage equality. First of all, America is not ready for such a big change. We should consider the educational influence that would bring to the nation. It might possibly put psychological effects on children about the gender confusion, such as the figure of father and mother. Also, the schools, as one of the most significant resources on teaching the children, are not prepared for this as well. The textbook, teacher resource, financial costs, and the idea of toleration are big components in the education system that should be part of the consideration. Moreover, the bill does not include any particulars from the perspective of religion. According to the First Amendment, churches can refuse to hold wedding ceremony for same-sex couples because it violates the First Amendment. By imposing a law like this, it forces people to forfeit parts of their doctrinal beliefs. Furthermore, when we say LGBT, the T, which refers to the transgender people, always comes last and sometimes might be forgotten. According to the bill, sex orientation means the inclination of an individual with respect of heterosexual, homosexual, and bisexual behavior. Clearly enough, transgender is not included in this bill at all. It violates the goodwill of the bill that gaining marriage equality for U.S. citizens and their civil rights. Lastly, the age concern of the bill is not clarified. The age of concern in the U.S. is different from states that ranging from 16 to 18. Statistically, people start to recognize their sexual orientation between age of 12 to 19. That means they start to recognize whether they're LGBT or not during this period. The enforcement of incomprehensive bill might mislead the younger on sexual orientation and lead to the question that whether being an LGBT is a choice or inheritance. For the consideration above, our team holds a negative opinion
10 seconds.
The HR 934, a bill for the marriage equality.
Thank you very much. Go ahead and open the floor to an affirmative cross-examination of 1 minute of this constructive. Affirmative team, your time starts now.
First of all, I believe that you said that the freedom of religion would be violated because churches can allow marriage to take place or can refuse to allow marriage to take place. But we never said that a church has to do the ceremony of marriage and they can be married wherever they want if they can find a pastor to do so.
It's not included in the
There is no statement in this bill which provides the exemption from any religious affiliation, which violates their beliefs on this part.
Also, you said that children who are raised by same-sex couples may become confused about their gender roles. I was wondering, how do you vouch for homosexuals who are raised by a straight couple?
Because as a children, they will have the figure of father and mother, which are male or female.
Yes,
when they were
but
young.
I'm talking about people who are homosexual, but they were raised by a straight couple.
10 seconds.
That is their personal choice and their inclination towards their sexuality. What we are talking about is this: we do not know, we have not done enough research within the psychological field to know if...
Thank you, Representatives Tan, Line, Bellino, King, and Chen. We will now take 30 seconds for the affirmative team to prepare their second constructive. Your preparation time starts now. This is good stuff so far. This is really good stuff. Ten seconds. Our preparation time is now ended. We'll open the floor to a second constructive of the length of 3 minutes by our affirmative team. Have I such a speech? Representative Duttlinger, the floor is yours.
For too long, homosexuality has been considered a form of deviant sexual behavior. An overwhelming amount of research has been done showing that homosexuality has a biological causation, not a genetic one, but a biological one. The easiest way to think about it is a hormonal switch that gets thrown one way or another. Marriage is more than a legal status. It affects many things in society, such as taxes, ownership of property, insurance benefits, and agency law. For example, one member of a gay couple that has been together for 20 years gets critically ill. Visitation may not even be allowed since the other isn't considered a spouse or immediate family member. It is completely unfair to deny these privileges to people because their relationship doesn't fit the state's definition of one. Gay people should have the same rights as anyone else, and that includes the right to get married. Denying the right to gay marriage has no rational or ethical basis and is based on purely historical prejudice against gays as a minority. If two people love each other, they should be allowed to marry, whatever their genders. Legalizing gay marriage further undermines the family values which hold society together, and it encourages a gay lifestyle. It is no one else's business if two men or two women want to get married. Two people of the same sex who love each other should be allowed to publicly celebrate their commitment and receive the same benefits of marriage as opposite-sex couples. Denying gay marriage is a violation of religious freedom. Civil and religious marriages are two separate institutions. The main reason for denying marriage to gay couples is that all major religions consider homosexuality a sin. However, the First Amendment of the Constitution clearly states that a person's religious views must be protected. Marriage by the state is a secular activity. The government cannot start making laws just because a religion says they should. What's next? Should we make taking the Lord's name in vain a criminal activity because Christians consider it a breaking of a commandment? I'm pretty sure not.
Also, we would like to state that being gay, straight, or bisexual is not influenced by society or what you are raised to be taught. It is proven to be a biological factor.
10 seconds.
So that would help.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll open up the floor to a negative cross-examination of this constructive, the length of 1 minute. The time starts now.
All right, you said that it's discriminatory to have marriage just between one man and one woman. But then isn't it also discriminatory just to define marriage between two people? Why isn't polygamy allowed then? Why are more than one person allowed to get married? Because there are clauses for this.
Can I please answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Polygamy involves many more laws than just marriage equality. And we are here to debate marriage equality, not polygamy or marriage between multiple people or anything.
That is true, but you said it's discriminatory. I'm just
That's not part of this debate.
It's also discriminatory against two people in general. It is also discriminatory in that way.
Is it not discriminatory in that way?
It is discriminatory in that way.
Exactly. You're discriminating against the two people that are of the same sex.
10 seconds remain.
Just
That's a whole separate debate.
Several other steps would have to occur in legislation before polygamy could even be
well,
considered.
several steps have to occur too for gay marriage to be allowed.
That's
So
what
you
we're
have to
working
change
on.
the definition.
Thank you very much, Representatives King, Line, Kelsey, and Bellino. At this moment, we'll open the floor to a 30-second preparation by our negative team. Your time to prepare starts now. Ten seconds. At this time, our preparation time has ended. Negative team, you have 3 minutes for your second and final constructive. Do I have such a speech?
Yes.
Representative Line, the floor is yours.
Huh?
That's zero, I'm sorry.
Or Representative Liu,
I'm
the
sorry.
floor is yours.
I'm sorry.
Somebody has the floor. Go for it.
Okay. Well, clearly enough, as we've stated in the first constructive, we're not opposing gay marriage at all. We do believe that if two people are fall in love, they should get married. But, on the other hand, we're opposing this bill because it's not complete. First of all, transgenders are already being neglected under the rapid movement of so-called marriage equality. If we take a look at those states has passed bills like this, like New York, in 2002, in order to get a hard-fought bill passed, gay and lesbians activists in New York stopped fighting for provisions related to their transgender allies. The bill, Sexual Orientation Non-Discrimination Act, also known as the SONDA, make it illegal to discriminate against gays and lesbians in employment, housing, public accommodation, education, credit, and the exercise of civil rights. But they left out transgenders completely. Till today, transgenders group is still under oppression and discrimination in many different ways. And there is no federal law that protects their rights and dignity. I don't think we want that tragedy happen in Illinois state again. If transgender is not included in this bill, then this bill is not complete. Educational-wise, as we all know, how great influence parents and school can bring to children. Kids in young age must be informed fully about this whole gay marriage thing so that we can create equal atmosphere for future gay couples. But this is not an easy thing to do. First of all, the parents must have no discrimination toward gay so that they can be open-minded enough to teach their kids to be like them. According to the gay marriage research verified in August 7, 2012, there are still 47% of Americans who oppose or strongly oppose gay marriage. The society is not as open as we all think. Plus, the school, especially elementary school and middle school, will have to add homosexual tolerance into their handbook, not to mention the teacher's attitude toward gay marriage. Only change the whole textbook system will be a big issue. In high school, how are students going to act toward gay individuals as classmates? How are they going to be counseled and accepted by everyone? Furthermore, in religious institutions such as academy like Bede, in order to create this equality, the school will be enforced to teach students how should we tolerate gay marriage. Does that violate their rights? And also about the age consent, about the hate crime, sorry. Even if we assume that everything in this bill is valid and completely reliable and true, it still didn't mention anything about protecting LGBT from discrimination. Right now, there are 1,100 of federal benefits to marriage, such as Social Security. But as what we found, same-sex marriage enjoyed hardly one of those benefits.
10 seconds.
One of the spouses unfortunately passed away in an accident or whatever. The other does not get the inherent the Social Security, basically saying that the person paid for nothing.
Thank you, Representative Liu. Your time has ended. We will open the floor to an affirmative cross-examination of this constructive to the amount of 1 minute. Representatives, your time starts now.
First of all, I would just like to say that I am kind of offended that you referred to our position as this, quote, whole gay marriage thing. I feel like that is very disrespectful.
Secondly, it's a matter of baby steps. So once we do, if we do legalize gay marriage union, then society as a whole will start to become more open and tolerable of gay and lesbian couples. How so? Because we are going to change the society norm. Things are
You just change your bill. You just change your law. You're not. This bill is not include it doesn't include anything about transgender, and it does not include that how are schools and teachers supposed to treat
10 seconds.
First of all,
it's just like the racial movement. Schools and people will have to accept it slowly.
Then you have to
Thank you very much, Representatives King, Bellino, and Liu. Our cross-examination time has ended. I will remind our representatives no new information can be introduced to the floor at this time, only already cited sources. As we move into our rebuttals, affirmative team, you'll have 30 seconds to prepare for your first rebuttal. That time starts now. Ten seconds. Affirmative team, your preparation time has ended. I'll open the floor to a first rebuttal affirmative, the length of 2 minutes. Have I such a speech?
yes.
Representative Bellino, the floor is yours.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to address that you said that a child being raised by homosexual parents confuses the gender role of the child. First of all, I don't see any evidence that you have of this, considering we have not legalized gay marriage yet, so that you have not shown any evidence to support your statement. But also, by saying gender role, that also means you are promoting a stereotype in society. Last time I checked, stereotypes are not a productive thing. Just because women are usually traditionally looked at as people who stay home and cook and clean, does that mean we cannot have stay-at-home dads? So I don't believe that stereotypes are an appropriate thing to support from your bill, or from your defense. Also, the educational system that you're trying to address, I don't understand, because when you're homosexual, you're only technically considered homosexual when you have declared yourself as this. If someone does declare themselves homosexual, clearly they are comfortable enough to be who they were born to be biologically, and they don't really care what other people have to say about them. And if some people do want to discriminate, that's their own problem. So the school will not have to teach you how to deal with homosexuality. If you kids want to make fun of someone, that's their fault, not the school's fault. Also, think of it in this way. People still discriminate against blacks, and Mexicans even too. All ethnicities are discriminated against just because, and it's legal to be black or Mexican or Polish or Italian, whatever you want to be
10
in
seconds.
America, and people still discriminate against them, so I don't understand the argument either.
Thank you very much, Representative Bellino. At this time, the negative team has 30 seconds to prepare for their first rebuttal. Your preparation time starts now. Ten seconds. At this time, we'll open the floor to a negative rebuttal, the length of 2 minutes against the bill. Do I have such a speech? Representative Line, the floor is yours.
Alright, as we said before, we really do not oppose gay marriage, but we do not know if America is quite ready for it yet. As you said, 41% are in favor. That is still not the majority of Americans in favor of this. Second of all, psychological effects are unknown, which means it could go either way. It has not been studied yet, and in gender roles, we mean guiding figure. We want someone, like if you're a guy with two female mothers as your parents, you have that guiding figure as a father. And we meant transgender. You guys really are discriminating against transgender. They aren't included within your bill or protected by this bill in any means. Also, with religious freedom, this bill does not include the exception from all religious affiliations, and this can go against their doctrinal beliefs. You would basically have them forfeit their beliefs. So we believe that in this bill it should be included that religious affiliations such as Catholics, Judaism, and any other religious affiliation that this goes against their beliefs would be given the exemption from having married homosexual couples.
And we say gender roles, we mean give children benefit most from having a mother and a father. That is what we were talking about.
And perhaps the wrong word was used. We meant a guiding figure. We meant someone who's there to be a father to a son, a
I
mother
think
to
the love is really what raises the child.
The love
and
is
forms
there.
them into who they are.
Yes,
Yes, it is still there in those couples.
It
While
has
their
been-
genders may be the same, the whole idea of love and devotion is
10
still
seconds.
But
formed
it
in the
has
child.
been proven that you do benefit from most from a mother and a father.
Proven where?
It has been proven in
One can take on more of a motherly role or a fatherly role.
Thank you, Representatives Line, King, and Bellino. At this moment in time, the affirmative team will have 30 seconds to prepare for their second rebuttal. Your preparation time starts now. Ten seconds. And our preparation time is ended at this time. We'll open the floor to a 1-minute rebuttal, affirmative of the bill. Have I such a speech? Representative Bellino, the floor is yours.
I'd like to open by acknowledging that we do know that you are not against gay marriage, and your transgender argument is valid. That is a valid disclaimer that will have to be put into the bill. I can totally agree with that. However, you have not addressed the issue of our economic gains as far as when two people get married, they can file for joint taxes, they have joint insurance, and basically you have not addressed that. But I'd also like to put you in a situation of you are married to another person, or in love with another person. He becomes fatally ill. In the
20
hospital.
seconds.
You're there, and you can't even go see him because you're not technically a family member or another or close relative.
Thank you, Representative Bellino. I don't know if I said 20 seconds or 10 just then. It was 10 seconds. I apologize. Negative team, you have 30 seconds to prepare for your second rebuttal. Your preparation time starts now. Ten seconds. And at this time, we'll open the floor to a 1-minute second rebuttal and negative of the bill. Have I such a speech? Yes. Representative Line, floor is yours.
All right, we would like to start off. Again, we are not against gay marriage, and we do concede that economic benefits would help. And with your whole point of the family member being there, we do agree with that. But you also have not addressed the issue of the exemption from religious affiliations from this bill. We would like to see that in there. That religious affiliations such as Catholicism, Judaism, Hinduism, any religious order that does not allow for homosexual relationships would not have to marry them within their institutions. They can deny that. We would like that put in there. The transgender thing too, that there are excluded.
This is not a religious argument. We purposely left religion out of the bill because you don't have to have religious.
But enforcing this upon them is a violation of their First Amendment. They have the religious beliefs that they want to have, and enforcing this upon them would have them
10 seconds.
Their factional beliefs, and you cannot do that against them.
I'm having a conversation here. Don't yell at me, please. I would like to point out that there are very few.
Thank you, Representatives Line and Bellino. At this time, the affirmative team has 30 seconds to prepare for your third and final rebuttal. Your preparation time starts now. Heating up. Woo. Gotta do it quick. You're ready to go? Awesome. We'll, at this time, open the floor to a 1-minute final rebuttal by our affirmative team. Representative King, you've got the floor.
In a world where gay marriage is legalized, considering how 9 other states have already done this, and taking into consideration how you said you're not sure America is ready for this change, 9 other states have already done it, and the city of Washington, D.C., which is the capital of the country. Anywho, nothing will upset the way life is now. We will simply be joining a new, fair, and logical trend that is already booming across many countries. Also, the percentage of divorce rates across the U.S. are likely to increase, as a matter of fact, which will then strengthen the weakening marital status. And the atmosphere for homosexual and bisexual individuals
10 seconds.
less threatening as society will begin to accept and respect them. If we do not legalize this bill, there will remain a most serious and undeniable form of discrimination against same-sex couples. We are going to be stripping them of basic human
Thank you very
rights.
much, Representative King. Your time has ended. We will now allow the negative team 30 seconds to prepare for their third and final rebuttal. Your preparation time starts now. Ten seconds. Negative team, your preparation time has ended. We will open the floor to a 1-minute negative rebuttal, the third and final rebuttal by our negative team. Have I such a speech? Representative Kelsey, the floor is yours.
Fast forward to when this bill would hypothetically take effect. Churches of all denominations are forced to either break from their long-standing beliefs or break from their long-standing traditions and hold all wedding ceremonies. As what happened in select European nations in which same-sex marriage laws were passed, they had to completely stop doing wedding ceremonies. Transgender individuals will be discriminated against due to their lack of inclusion in this bill. Also, as was mentioned, of the states that have passed gay marriage bills. California passed the gay marriage laws in the legislature, but later on they failed to pass in the popular vote, implying that the population was not quite ready at the time. I'll leave you with this point. Many experts suggest that even by passing marriage equality laws, LGBT
10
discrimination
seconds.
will not be curbed for at least another generation. So my thought is this: why not wait to pass gay marriage equality laws until they include the issues of religious freedom and transgender rights?
Thank you, Representative Kelsey. Let's have a round of applause for our amazing representative. Yes, go for
I
it.
want you to find me one homosexual couple that actually believes in Catholicism or anything else that goes against homosexuality because they're
There
going
are
against
so
who
many.
they are born
There
to
are
be.
so
They
many.
say
It's
free
really
to
soured my 8th grade teacher
Can we not argue
was
about
an
religion?
active in the church.
We were not arguing about religion, we were arguing about the
And let's bring it in. That was amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I am actually